So you have invested a huge amount of time, energy, and money to get your website sorted, beautiful photos, clean design, everything looks professional, but you're still not seeing your average order value increase. Or maybe you're not even getting enough online orders to feel like all of this effort is worth it. And you might be sitting there wondering, what the heck am I missing? And here's what I see all of the time. Florists get the visuals right, but completely overlook the one thing that actually helps customers say yes to spending more than $150 on a bouquet. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Here's the thing that most florists don't know. Your customers cannot tell the difference between a carnation and a rose. They don't know what a lisianthus is. They can't tell if that's a ranunculus or a peony in that photo. So when they're shopping your online catalog and land on a specific design and they see a product description like this, it just compounds their confusion. And they don't actually understand what they're getting. They don't know if this design is worth $75 or $175. And they don't feel confident enough to say, add to cart. But here's what's even more important to understand. I know a lot of you want to have complete creative control over the flowers that you're going to use in your designs. You don't want to be locked in to have to create cookie cutter bouquets, and you don't want to have to hunt high and low for specific ingredients or use subpar flowers. But you're afraid that if you don't create something that looks exactly like the photo, you're going to get a complaint. And it's very likely that that has happened to you before. The fear is real. So then most florists end up doing one of two things. They keep very vague descriptions, hoping that that's going to give them more creative control, or you swing the pendulum to the other end of the spectrum and you go overboard in terms of trying to provide measurements and stem counts and lots of defensive language in terms of what your protocol is for swapping out ingredients. And you think you're doing it hoping that you're going to get the sale and that you're protecting your business and yourself from more customer complaints. But what's actually happening through that entire process is that you are leaving money on the table, you're missing out on the opportunity to wake up to more $150 online orders, and you're making your customers feel less confident, so they won't purchase. So today I want to teach you something I call the $150 description method. And this is exactly how you can write product descriptions that help customers feel confident spending more, give you complete creative flexibility, and actually reduce the number of complaints that you get because you've set clear expectations. And there's only 3 things that you need to focus on. So here's an example of how most florists write their product descriptions in their online catalog. A stunning arrangement featuring seasonal blooms in soft romantic tones, perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. Our talented designers will create something beautiful using the freshest flowers available. This is sure to delight. Now, on the surface of it, it doesn't seem so bad. You're like, well, it's charming and it's uplifting and it gives them a little bit of confirmation in terms of what occasions this design is for. But here's the thing. Your clients use those product descriptions, yes, they read them, as a way to confirm that they are making the right decision for them. Here's an example of a really powerful description to help you get more of those $150 online orders. A soft, sophisticated floral design for moments that deserve a touch of elegance. The Island Time design is crafted with premium seasonal blooms in a mixed pastel color palette, ideal for birthdays, a new baby, or simply showing you care. This design features Ecuadorian roses, delicate lisianthus, French dianthus, locally grown stock, styled with premium seasonal foliages. Presentation options: wrapped in our exclusive textured paper and finished with satin ribbon, or upgrade to a ceramic vase. Every order includes a custom card message. Simply enter your message at checkout and we'll take care of the rest. Please note, flowers are subject to seasonal availability. If a listed flower isn't available, our designers will substitute it with a flower in a similar shape, color, or style to maintain the overall aesthetic. Now let me break down this description so that you know exactly what to focus on. In the before example of this product description, you'll see that there's a lot of generic, fluffy language. Words like stunning and beautiful, and words that don't actually add any additional meaning to the photo. In the after, there's more descriptive language. So words like soft, sophisticated, touch of elegance, even things like mixed pastel color palette. These words are actually so powerful in terms of helping fill in the missing pieces for your customers. And it's how you can make the intangible aspects of your design more tangible and relevant to your customer so that your clients have a much fuller picture of how this whole thing works. This is also a very powerful place for you to be able to demonstrate your expertise, because you're not just selling flowers. This isn't cookie cutter designs. This is you as a passionate floral designer who wants to share your love of flowers with your customers. And injecting more emotive language, more feeling into your product descriptions is going to help you sell more flowers. And this version of the product description, the reason that it's so effective is because it helps fill in the gap for all of the things that your customers don't know. Remember, they have no clue what they're actually looking at when they're looking at the photo. So they are always going to read the product description to help paint a very clear picture of what it is that they're buying. And because they cannot tell the difference between a rose and a carnation, and realistically, they cannot tell the difference between a $50 and $150 bouquet, you need to tell them. And this is the part that makes all of the difference in the world. List the actual flowers that you show in the photo. And now I know exactly what you're thinking. What if I don't have those flowers? What if it's 6 months after I took this photo and the seasons are completely different? What if the customer complains? Stay with me. When you go through the effort of listing the specific flowers that you've got in a design, especially when you're using language like Ecuadorian roses, delicate Lysianthus, French dianthus, locally grown stock, you're actually doing two things. First, you're educating your customer. Now they know that that fluffy, beautiful thing that they're looking at in the photo is a Lysianthus. They know that Ecuadorian roses are a thing, which does sound super premium, by the way. You're giving them the language to understand what makes this particular design worth $150. The second thing that this does in the sales process is that you are actually building value. When somebody sees a list of 4 to 5 ingredients plus premium seasonal foliage, their brain goes, oh, this is substantial. This is worth it. And here's the magic. You protect yourself with that substitution line at the bottom. So including a sentence like, flowers are subject to seasonal availability. If a listed flower is unavailable, our designers will substitute it with flowers of a similar shape, color, and style to maintain the overall aesthetic. That one line gives you complete creative flexibility so that you can swap out Lysianthus for locally grown mums, or add tulips in if they caught your eye at the wholesalers. You can even use a different style of rose if there's something else available for you, because you know that your job is to simply maintain that overall look and feel with what you create for the customer. And the reality is, most customers don't even notice, all because you've now set the expectation that you are the expert and you are a designer that's making expert choices. The third element of this product description is all about removing friction and adding value. And these things that might seem very simple or very obvious to you and I are new news to our customers. And we need to walk them and hold them by their hand through every single step in the process. It is so easy with all the functionality on our website, all the ideas that you might have about upsells and cross-sells and choose your different VAs to completely overwhelm your customer. And then they're just going to go to somebody else's shop because that business made it so much easier. So this is one of those instances where simplicity is key, but so is clarity. Talking about things like presentation options, whether it's wrapped or they could upgrade to a vase, what's included, and reminding them about their custom card message. And when they're going to add their custom card message, i.e. at checkout, these seemingly little details in your product description are so powerful because it does two things. One, it makes the customer feel taken care of. They're not sitting there wondering, when do I write my own card message? Like, you're already preempting that thought for them, so they will trust you even more. And then number two, you're giving them an option to add on a vase, which gives them enough choice, but it doesn't overwhelm them with choices, and it's a little bit of extra revenue in your pocket. And this is how you make the buying process feel really easy, but also premium at the same time. So let's recap the $150 description method. Element number 1, use descriptive language so that your potential customer can really understand what it is that you're going to create for them. List the specific flowers with descriptors and protect yourself with a clear statement about your substitution policy. Remind them about the presentation options. Tell them when they're going to get to write their custom card message so that you can reduce the friction and add value to their experience. And when you do this, a few things happen. You're going to see your average order value increase because now your customers understand what they're getting and why it's worth it. You'll get fewer what's included questions because you've already answered them. You'll get fewer complaints because you've set really clear expectations and given yourself flexibility. And you'll finally feel like your website is actually working for you instead of just sitting there looking pretty. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pick your most popular design in your online catalog or one that you want to sell more of and go in and rewrite your product description. And I promise you, this seemingly small upgrade can make a massive difference in how customers perceive your value and how confident they feel clicking add to cart. And if you enjoyed this video, you might also like this video. I walk you through 3 changes that you can make this weekend to get more florist sales, including my step-by-step strategy for you to optimize your online catalog so that you can increase your average order value and wake up to more $150 orders. And as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.